Hey everyone, it's Christian, and might be a little bit loud here, but we're on Coral Way in Coral Gables, which is also known as the Miracle Mile while you're in the town. And it's kind of a place where there's a lot of shops, a lot of big apartment buildings, as you can see right here. It's an older part of town. This is like I think it's one of the first, or not the first planned community in Florida in the 1920s. My grandfather actually lived in Coral Gables in the early 30s. I think he was getting over tuberculosis, so I wanted to there's kind of like a huge influx of palms, kind of in massive plantings all over this area, so I wanted to kind of give you guys a little overview of seeing what's planted where and what's being planted in Miami now. So here's Ashley. We're almost ready to go to dinner, but we have Teichosperma elegans, the solitaire palm, right here, planted in kind of a sextuplet there. And over here, the light is not that good, I apologize, it's a little bit later on at night, but there's Adenidias, Christmas palms, Adenidium Rilii planted right there. And let's zoom out. And over here, now I have not done a vlog on this, but you guys probably know this palm is the true date palm, or Phoenix dactylifera. And these are a little bit less trimmed up, as you can see. You can either get them kind of like fully rugged, or you can get them fully trimmed, kind of shaved up. So there's those, and there's more down here. We can zoom in there. That's kind of like the best looking one. These look a little bit more like they would in habitat, with the fatter trunk, and sometimes will have some pups on them, and which is natural actually. Most people don't know that dactylifera will make pups, and people will take the pups off because they are true to form. And when it comes to date production, it's so important to get the right strains. There's a couple different varieties of dates. There's Medjules, there's Zahides, and then you can get there's a Middle Eastern type, and there's like a kind of more Far Eastern type. Some apparently like drier weather, some like more like the Mediterranean style weather. So there's a lot of, but they're all one species, and they're all going to be called Phoenix dactylifera. Some will be bluer than others. For example, that's a pretty blue plant. Let's try and zoom in here. We can see that blue color. That's a very desirable type there with that color. And they're really nice here. Now, in Florida, because of the humidity, true date palms will not put out edible dates. I mean, you can eat them, but they're fermented. They're going to taste very bitter. I don't recommend eating them. But out in California, in the deserts, they ripen properly, and they're nice and sweet. The sugars ferment here in the humidity. They splat on the ground. They actually get really nasty. Miami Beach and Lincoln Road area, they have a bunch, and they don't clean them up, and it just becomes this mushy mess of nasty fruit. So then we go a little further down this road here. We can kind of take a little bit of a walk. There is some Vicia ericina, which I don't know if I've done a video on either. But they're there, and you can see the little coconut peeking up. There we go. They got more light that way too. The Vici is there on the right. Then you have a solitaire, Teichosperma elegans, and then right next to that elegans, there's a Chinese fan, Livistona chinensis there. Then a palmetto right in the middle. Then more Chinese fan, Livistona chinensis. Then peeking up top there in the kind of upper left is a coconut. So one coconut out of all. One sad thing about the evolution of the planting of palms in Miami is that they actually made the replanting of coconuts in Miami illegal. Now I don't know if they rescinded that or it's still in effect, but at one time in the near past, it was illegal to replant coconuts. Now people just went ahead and violated. They said that coconuts were essential to Miami's look and vision. I think it was on their city patch, like what the police wore, like a city employee would wear. So it seemed kind of ridiculous that coconuts would become illegal to replant. But because of they would sprout up everywhere, they become more of a nuisance. They would fall on cars, and that became a liability issue. That's why they made it illegal to replant. But people did it anyway, or they just kind of threw coconuts around. You're never going to stop a person that loves plants from planting those plants. Trust me, I've been there. So, with that said, There are some royals here in a nice row. We got real dark green leaves. These are beautiful specimens of royals. They really look nice here. I got a big flower spike. The peduncular bract. I wanted to wait till that car drove by, but you got about 15, 12 or so right here. Now we're looking right. If you guys keep on going straight, you will dead end right in the area called Brickell, just south of downtown Miami, and you can kind of see some coconuts there as well in the distance. So we are going to go out to eat now. This is facing north towards the airport. This is facing west back towards the Everglades. So with that said, I will leave you guys there, but I wanted to kind of give you a little bit of a influx of so many. We have some foxtails over there too that are not looking excellent, but they're looking pretty good. I'm going to give you a little influx of all the... Coral Gables is a really nice community that has... They kept a lot of the native trees and planted a lot of plants, and it's just a beautiful area. Unfortunately, it's very expensive. I think the average house is about $650,000-$700,000. So you can see here at the corner of Biltmore Way. This is how everything in Coral Gables is done, and Gardena Street. It should be Gardena Street, I think. I don't know. There's the Gardena Street in Coral Gables, though. But all the corners are like that in Coral Gables. You know you're in Coral Gables because of these cement little L's. So we are going to head to the restaurant, and I hope you guys have a good weekend, and I will post this as soon as I can. Until then.